So you have another white terrorist who murdered multiple people in a white town. I had to make this video because there's a big problem I wanted to bring up. A lot of these big white-run companies are too eager to give these terrorists a platform. YouTube, social media sites, online message boards, and all sorts of other things give these killers a place to spew their hatred, to collaborate with like-minded people, and to plan for their terror attacks. And I had to bring that up because white companies like YouTube go out of their way to monitor, harass, sabotage, and ban black content creators. And they seem to do it just because the creator is black. They won't suggest black videos or they'll sabotage someone by striking them for no reason. I recently made a video about why racism exists, and YouTube put an age restriction on it because they said there was sexually inappropriate material. I couldn't believe that because the video is solely about racism and doesn't mention anything remotely sexual. So I went along with their game and I appealed it. I reminded them that white-run companies like Atlantic Records post videos called Wet Ass Pussy. These videos aren't age restricted and they're allowed on the platform. How could you go after one video, one that doesn't even talk about intercourse, but allow another video that is literally talking about intercourse and is graphically discussing genitals in the title? YouTube denied my appeal and said they need to keep people safe. So clearly this has nothing to do with sexual content and everything to do with trying to sabotage a person who says things that they don't agree with. I bring that example up because you have a lot of black content creators who get sabotaged on a daily basis by these white-run companies. Yet this latest white terrorist was allowed to have his videos on places like YouTube. One of the terrorist's classmates even said the killer's posts on YouTube were scary and threw up red flags. But for some reason, YouTube, the company that says they want to keep the company safe, didn't seem to catch that. They not only allowed this terrorist to spew whatever he wanted on their platform, they also didn't even find it necessary to report it to any authorities. That's disturbing. The victims need to get together and go after YouTube for allowing this terrorist to post on their platform without any restrictions. Now, I've discussed this before in my Rudy Giuliani video and my Judas and the Black Messiah video. Whites have such a strong hatred and jealousy for blacks that they'll ignore their own pain just to hurt us. They'll ignore white companies like Purdue Pharma, who purposely released a product that they knew would turn poor whites into drug addicts. They'll ignore white companies like the Wonderful Company, who illegally stole the drinking water of poor whites in California so that they can grow their pistachios and sell them and make a profit. And they'll ignore white criminality, the criminality that directly affects them and their community. And they'll ignore it because they're focused on trying to hurt and destroy us blacks. So if white people who are being directly affected by these white terrorists don't seem to mind these kinds of attacks, if they rather focus on me than on actually stopping what's being done to them by other whites, then why should black people care? Why should I care? I don't.